Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United States.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Today, I am here to speak the truth, state the facts, and empower you, the American people. What I'm going to share with you may be scary, but it's of absolute importance that you hear what I'm saying, as I am going to give you the opportunity to take steadfast action to produce exactly what it is you want in your life. And I'm not talking about hope. Hope may have gotten me elected, but hope does not produce results. What produces results is empowering and educating the American people to take action, and that is what I'm here to do today. Tonight, I'm going to talk about jobs, our nation's debt, the value of the dollar, the big crash to come, and most importantly, how to profit from this big crash. As you may be aware, unemployment is currently at 9.6% as of its last report from October 2010. The good news is that it is slightly down from 10% unemployment, which we saw last October. The even better news is that I do think unemployment is going to continue to remain fairly steadily and possibly even decrease throughout most of 2011. But the bad news is that some of my top economists are telling me that it is possible that unemployment may rise as high as it once did during the Great Depression of the 1930s, when it reached a whopping 24.9%. Whether or not unemployment reaches that high of a level, difficult times are ahead for employees. America is at war with the fundamentals of our own economy, and unfortunately, employees and the average American citizen are going to bear the brunt of this war. Another big issue in today's economy is our national debt. As of November 30th, 2010, our national debt is at $13,794,702,965,965.11. As a nation, we continue to get deeper into debt each day. In fact, since October 2007, the national debt has increased an average of $4.13 billion per day. And not only has our national debt risen, but you as the consumer have followed in the footsteps of our government. U.S. consumer debt has increased 315% since 1989. Total consumer debt is $2.42 trillion as of June 2010. Perhaps you've heard the expression, do as I say, but not as I do. Well, that's exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about here. I urge you, the American people, to stop getting into bad debt, because it is highly likely that America as a nation is going to get further and further into bad debt, and I don't want you to do the same thing. To be honest, one of the reasons why we as a nation keep getting further and further into debt is quite simply because we can. At least for now. And secondly, we get further and further into debt because that is the only way that we can pay our bills. And in order to pay these bills and defend against deflation, we have to print more and more money. In fact, lately, we've been printing money like it's going out of style. Between 1913 and 2007, a period of 84 years, we printed $825 billion into circulation. The following 3 years, into 2010, we have printed $1.7 trillion into circulation. In the last 3 years, we have more than doubled the amount of money we have printed for the past 84 years. As you probably remember, one of the reasons we needed to print more money was to first save the economy and then to stimulate the economy after the mess of 2008. Bailouts here and bailouts there, it all adds up. In fact, it adds up to the tune of $4.6 trillion spent in bailout money as of September 30th, 2010. You should know that as we print more money and bail out companies, the value of the dollar decreases. What that means for the average American is that $1 today buys you less than it did yesterday. Inflation has been happening for years. Did you ever wonder why a gallon of gas cost $1.08 in 1980? And in 2010, that same gallon of gas cost $2.97? Or why a gallon of milk in 1980 cost $2.16 and today costs $3.89? Inflation, when kept in check, erodes the purchasing power of the dollar over time. As just mentioned, it's taken 30 years for the price of gas to increase in price nearly 300% from its 1980 price. But what would happen if instead of taking 30 years, it took 3 years, or even worse, 3 months, to increase 300% in price? What would happen then? This is inflation at its most severe, when inflation becomes out of control, and this is known as hyperinflation. During hyperinflation, price levels increase rapidly, but the actual value remains relatively stable to foreign currencies. According to Wikipedia, the main cause of hyperinflation is a massive and rapid increase in the amount of money that is not supported by a corresponding growth in the output of goods and services. I think it's pretty clear that we are experiencing and will continue to experience a rapid increase in the amount of money. But the output of goods and services, which is measured by our GDP, which is not expanding at the same rate that we are printing money. In fact, GDP actually dropped last year, going from $14.36 trillion in 2008 to $14.25 trillion in 2009. Now, I don't know for sure if hyperinflation will occur, but it is one possibility, and I want you, the American people, to be prepared. And for those of you that think that the worst has come and gone and the economy has turned around, I hope that you're right, but I fear that you may be wrong. As for the real estate market and the economy, some experts have confided in me that the worst is yet to come. A major cause of the subprime mess in 2008 was due to the number of mortgages resetting. We had $20 billion in mortgages reset in a single month back then. The good news is that recently resets have been fairly low, and that is why you might hear commentators saying the economy is turning around and that things are picking up. What most people are not aware of is that in November 2011, we are going to experience the largest amount of debt resetting in a single month. $38 billion of debt will reset in the month of November 2011. The question that concerns me is this: if $20 billion of debt resetting in a single month set our economy into a recession that we are still working our way out of, what will happen when $38 billion, nearly double that amount in 2008, adjusts in a single month? My fellow Americans, many people have struggled over the last few years and will struggle for years to come. But today I'm here to tell you that it does not have to be that way. There is another way. There is an elite group of smart investors and business people that have thrived. In fact, they have had some of their best years ever. And I've chosen the best of the best to write a special report called the Freedom Report. This is a must for every American citizen who wants to thrive in the coming years ahead. I urge you to listen to his advice and take steadfast action. I believe that we are in for challenging times ahead, and the Freedom Report details what it's going to take to be successful in this new economy. You're going to be surprised by what you read in this report, because what has worked in the past is dead. The world is changing, and so must you. Keep your eyes glued to this channel for the next few days, as I will be releasing Doug Feist's Freedom Report, a must-read for those of you looking to thrive in today's new economy. Good night, my fellow Americans.